Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Aquarius Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about the clash of the air signs. Now, this is the clash, this motherfucking Gemini versus Libra versus Aquarius. Now, there's a misconception out here that I just came across that I didn't even know was a misconception. People actually think Aquarius is a water sign. No, Aquarius is the water barrier. When you see Aquarius, you see a man holding a bucket of some rainbow goddamn water. Now, the rainbow waters you see is just space, but you got bigger beings out here that's pouring that out, and they live in a realm of reality where it's a higher density version of what you're experiencing now. So that's the Aquarius man-woman-like feature that you're experiencing. But it's the water barrier. It's an intellectual person or being pouring water. That means a person who's intellectually know how to communicate or know how to think about things that's dealing with imagination, things that's dealing with thought and far out thoughts. So this what makes the Aquarius scientific, a little bit more scientifical than a Gemini or a Libra, because Aquarius may take far out thoughts and imaginations and like to think and analyze and communicate about them in the air-like fashion, the same way Geminis and Libras do. So, you know, there's no two motherfucking signs the motherfucking same. So this is the motherfucking clash right here. Now, you need to understand that. People think just because you're in a conjunction, same sign, or it's two elements that you're going to automatically agree with somebody. No, that's not the case. Every sign is different. Now, the only thing that y'all agree on is that y'all all are dealing with thoughts, analyzing and communicating. So you guys kind of pick the sense up, a relatable sense to each other when you guys are around each other. You guys kind of sense that y'all thinking, like y'all spider senses start tingling, pilot senses start tingling. Y'all start thinking that thoughts is being thought, and words that start coming out, and then that's when you start to know you're around some motherfucking air signs. So then y'all clash. You know, the only reason that y'all can agree on something is because since it's the same element, it's going to create a situation of being able to tolerate. So even though you might not agree with this person, it may create a possibility to tolerate this person. But that's not even the case, because on the backdrop, no motherfucking two signs the same. It's just two elements may just create that possibility of toleration. But other than that, y'all motherfuckers is different, and we're going to get into this right now. Now, for the most part, we're going to start with Gemini. Gemini is mutable air. Being mutable and being able to adapt to his own and other people's ways of thinking and communicating. So right here, you know, Geminis feel more comfortable with seeing how other people think, how other people communicate. So to do that, a lot of times they have to be curious. They have to communicate. They have to analyze. They have to dive in. They have to look at puzzles, look at instructions, read, see things as an example. So this is what makes them fast. Also, this is what makes them likes to use the hands, because a lot of times they need things. They need things set as an example. So they even need it to be seen, or they even actually have to do it themselves. So this is what creates them to share a lot of energies with Aries a lot of times, because they lead by example. A lot of times they have to be hands-on. So the cardinal fire and the mutable air share more agreeable natures than the cardinal fire and the cardinal air, or the fixed air. You see what I'm saying? Each element and each sign work differently with each other, and every sign shares something with each other, and every sign clashes with each other. Everything is different. No two snowflakes the same, no two stars the same. So for the most part, Geminis is more, they like to this makes them more curious than the other two air signs. So where they may try to think, be over communicative, a lot of times they create expressions and create communications in order to just talk to other people. Now that may not be so aware or seen when you start to deal with the Aquarius and the Libra. So here's when you start to clash these two. Now, Libra's cardinal air, so it's initiating and creating new ways of how to think and communicate. So a lot of times this what makes the Libra a little bit more aggressive than the Gemini, and the aggressive nature plays out a lot differently in Libra. See, the aggressive nature, the cardinal is initiative and creative, initiative. So that kind of creates determination. That kind of creates forceful energy. But the aggression is modified by Venus and Saturn. You know, because Saturn is exalted here and Venus rules here. So the aggression comes across as pleasant, as compromising, harmonious, as and valuing people, places, and things, or love and expression. So for the most part, their aggressiveness get filtered out in helping others or loving. So they're aggressive in relationships. They may forcefully start relationships, get into relationships beforehand, not being aware of if this the right relationship for them or not. So they end up experiencing a lot of wrong relationships. They get aggressive with communicating and relating. So the aggressiveness is not aggressive like modified like the Mars and Scorpio and Aries. The aggressiveness is modified into appreciate or valuing someone else. So they get aggressive when they see someone else getting the short end of the stick, or seeing someone else getting taken advantage of. So they take up for themselves faster than, take up for someone else faster than themselves. Then you got Saturn. It's to gain structure, build bonds. That's dealing with any kind of business or relationship or anything. Building something with someone. Stability, structure, routine, pattern. That's a relationship. A relationship is some pattern. When you in a relationship with a person who just flip-floppy, change up every day, you don't even know what to expect. That's not a relationship. You see what I'm saying? So Saturn here, this is greatly modifying the aggressive energy. So a lot of times Libras try to control the relationship, control others. A lot of times, you see what I'm saying? They control others. So the Gemini will look at this a lot of times like, you can't control me. I agree with you. We have nice conversations and things of that nature. We can go out together, but goddamn, we can't do everything that you just want to do. This is not your relationship. This is a relationship, and that's what the Libra need to learn from the Gemini, and that's where y'all may clash at a lot of times, because if y'all in a relationship with each other, this will make the Gemini cheat on the Libra, because you will start making the Gemini feel like they're trapped. And this is where Gemini may share a lot of energies with Aquarius and Sagittarius, their opposite sign, because once you make a Gemini feel trapped, you can't trap air. And see the difference with the air, with the Gemini air and mutable and the cardinal air. See, the cardinal air is pressure pipe. It's like air going directly into another air. So it's like giving CPR to a person. The Libra air is like giving CPR to a person, or pumping up a tire, you know what I'm saying, or pressure bust pipes. Anytime air going straight into one source to the other source, you know what I'm saying? So this would create circumstances in Libra lives that they like to have one-on-one relationships. So Libra know how to get a group of people together just as well as an Aquarius can. Gemini's more like to be to themselves, but they can jump in and out and jump rope, but they more to themselves in their own mind. But for the most part, Libra could do the same thing Aquarius do, but Aquarius know how to make themselves a part of the pack and see everybody the same. Libra likes to have a one-on-one relationship with everybody. So even though they know how to bring the pack together, they still have a kind of one-on-one relationship with each individual. They have a different way of communicating with each individual. When an Aquarius just know how to communicate with everybody the same. So it becomes bland, and a lot of times Aquarius become to themselves a lot of times to the point they like to leave that room and space there, so when it's time for the Aquarius to separate, they can. But they still knew how to create the ideas and the thoughts to the people that's with them, that this person is just being them, and that's just them. They still a part of us. See, Aquarius know how to communicate like that and still keep their room of breathing and things of that nature. Libra's not so much, and a Libra put themselves and waste their time into trying to control the whole pack and each person individually, and that could become exhausting a lot of times. And a Libra sit back and look at it like, man, I'm just trying to make things go right. Well, really, that's not your job all the time. So, but this is where you would clash with the Gemini first, because it's like you're being too demanding, too controlling, and you need to learn how to relax a little bit and be a little bit more mutable, and learn how to look at more people the same, instead of just you looking at me like this but you ain't looking at this person like that, when really we all in the same situation. And see, you'll start making people feel like you're playing favoritism and you're doing this, that, and the third. And Libra, you can't do that. See, you're searching for balance, and all you're doing is creating a bunch of unbalanced circumstances and situations in your life. That's how you're learning balance, when you don't have to do that. You can just automatically jump into some balance. You see what I'm saying? But Geminis will help you with that, but this is where y'all will clash. Now, for the most part, where the Gemini and Aquarius may clash. Now, like I said, now in this case, because a lot of times the mutable and the fixed signs could get along a lot better than the mutable and the cardinal signs. But in the air, and that's probably more dealing with the water and the fire. You know, the mutable can get along a lot better with the fixed, because the mutable know how to transform the fixed and don't make the fixed feel like it's trying to force it to transform. So they become agreeable, and you just the fixed have to make sure they don't become too stubborn, and the mutable have to make sure they don't become too flip-floppy when things become too exhausting. We're trying to apply themselves with the energy. See, in the cardinal, a lot of times cardinal play fixed and mutable, so that could become exhausting for the fixed sign and the mutable sign, to the point that the cardinal sign a lot of times just have to be left the goddamn alone. But in this case right here, when we talk about the air, the cardinal and the mutable actually get along a lot better than the mutable and the fixed. And here's why when it's like that with the air. Now, for the most part, see, now Aquarius is fixed air, so they got their own way of thinking and communicating. So anytime when we talk about thoughts and communicating and making yourself a part of things and relating with the pack and things of that nature, a big clash comes between the Aquarius and Gemini before the Aquarius and Libra, or before the Gemini and Libra. Because here's what's happening. When the Aquarius around, the Aquarius will look at the Gemini as being too flip-floppy, because the Aquarius, and this is where the Aquarius may have something in agreement with Aries and Scorpio, because the Aquarius is more about having conviction in your thoughts, having conviction in your ideas, so we can act upon these things, even if you have to be looked at as weird, changing, rebellious, or opposing, or unique and original, whatever it takes. A lot of times the Aquarius value that, and that's what they have in common with Aries, Scorpios, and with Aries and Scorpios. They value that. Now, Gemini may not show these characteristics when they're around the Aquarius, and that might piss the Aquarius off, because the Gemini will be too busy with trying to think how the Aquarius think, but not only the Aquarius, everybody else in the room, and in the same time being lost in their own thoughts, trying to take shape and form of how they should think and communicate about it. So this over relatableness or this over communicating with this, that, and the third person will kind of throw the Aquarius off and make the Aquarius feel like the Gemini is untrustworthy. And then on the flip side, the Gemini be looking at the Aquarius like, this is what we do. We're communicating, we're relating. Don't forget, this is how we end up knowing everybody in the first place. See, the Aquarius end up all the air signs communicate, but they do it in their own way. The Aquarius end up knowing everybody because they are unique and original, and kind of dished off and kind of quiet but not quiet. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they're more into their thoughts and things of that nature. But the Gemini understands how to know everybody. It deals with communicating, relating, not being opposing. And a lot of times it play off as the Aquarius would think the Gemini is not an individual. They don't have their own unique self, where the Gemini, that is their own unique self, is to be changeable. And that's what the Aquarius just don't understand a lot of times. They just don't understand that. So that's where y'all would clash, because that is who the Gemini is. The Gemini know how to make themselves a part of everything and know how to communicate like they agree with what everybody else agree with. But the Gemini know how to jump rope. They still know how to be their own unique and original self too. For an example, if you're in a relationship or you have a sibling that's a Gemini, yeah, you may be around them. You think they agree with you think that they agree with your advice or whatever. You think you gotta hold them or whatever. What you need to realize, at the end of the motherfucking day, they gonna do what the fuck they want to do anyway, regardless of what they made you think or their actions that they made you think around you. They may have made you feel comfortable and into thought of you thinking you know their actions, or they may have did certain things to make you think that when y'all go out, that if this happened, they're going to be with you like this, that, and the third shit. But you done got it fucked up. Because they work with the mind. You see what I said? They work with the mind and the thoughts. So while you thinking that, they didn't thought about that already. So they know how to create thoughts to make you think that they're this way, even if they're not really that way. Because when stuff hit the fan, that's the only time you truly going to know how or who a Gemini truly is, when things hit the fan. See, they know how to talk a good game and do say a lot of things and make you think it's this way all before things hit the fan, and they know how to talk better. They know how to put the words together better. They know how to make you believe more of you than you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you need to understand. But you would truly see what direction that wind blows when things hit the goddamn fan. You know what I'm saying? And when you see that wind may scatter so fast on your ass that you know that air wasn't in that fucking jar that you thought it was a container in the first place. You can't conceal that air. And that's what will frustrate the motherfucking shit out of an Aquarius. So if y'all in a relationship right now, it's going to be fun at first. It's because it's going to be like a sense of excitement. But after the routine and pattern that the Aquarius try to create, Gemini is not going to conform to that pattern that you're just going to want to create, and you know, and then that's going to create that clash right there. So you know, that's where y'all clash. Now, as far as the Aquarius and Libra, now the Aquarius and Libra a lot of times is in a circumstance and situation where y'all can get along a lot better, you know, than the Gemini, because the Libra show signs of pattern. They show signs of structure. Even if they're not structured in their relationships and their relationships chaotic, Libras always got some type of structure to them. And even if it's materialistic, or even if it's they may get lazy at times, but they understand the meaning behind scheduling and timing and things of that nature. So that kind of makes the Aquarius relax a little bit. Like I said, remember, Saturn is exalted in Libra. So Libras can overexhaust themselves with trying to build a bond a lot of times. But the Aquarius will sit back and understand that and be like, okay, they may talk too much and they're overbearing and over clingy on me, but I understand it. I just know how to create some mental restrictions and boundaries for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the Aquarius will look at you. So this is how y'all start to build y'all bond, because you know the Aquarius will make the Libra feel like they're in control, but that's the realm Aquarius like to be in, because it's like they can manipulate from a scientific realm, a logical realm, but from the realm that they understand, because they understand the outside a little better than the Gemini and the Libra. So just letting the Libra, having them allowed to feel that way, will leave like a space or room, or leave an orb for the Aquarius to kind of create their own unique and individuality within their relationship. So you see what I'm saying? So that's what this. But this is where y'all also clash. What attracts clash also, because a lot of times after a while, the Libra will be like, okay, it's time to change up, time to switch, time to transform, trying to spice up this relationship, and then that's going to throw the Aquarius off, because the Aquarius is going to be like, no, it's like this. No, not this time. No, not this way. No, my way or the highway. And then boom, that's where y'all going to clash, because for the most part, you know, the Aquarius still see things and think about things its own way. So it don't got time to be having somebody trying to talk their ears off, trying to change the way they think about something. You know what I'm saying? And Aquarius is going to have their own unique and original way of communicating back, even if it have to be in a rebellious or opposing way. And they have to cuss your ass out to let you know that you're over crossing boundaries and restrictions mentally. You're crossing limits. You're crossing our friendship limits. You're crossing our relationship limits. You're crossing our sibling limits. See, and then Aquarius, that's when Aquarius come out with their harsh words. And they may say something that really don't even got anything to do with anything, but it really has everything to do with everything. And to your ass understand that metaphor, that's when you will understand that you have crossed your motherfucking boundaries and limits mentally with them. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you start to experience some type of separation between the two, and then that's going to break the Libra heart, because Libra don't like to separate. Like I said, Venus here, that's love, compromising, appreciating, and relating. Then you have exaltation of Saturn. So Saturn overexhausts itself in trying to connect and trying to create a bond. And when that bond gets shooken up and broken off by the Aquarius, it's because the Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, so it already understands bonds and connectiveness and restriction and limits. But see, it also understands how to change a lot of times, and how to be unique and original because of the Uranus energy. So a lot of times this makes Saturn, which is stable, firm, structure, but it makes it not appear as firm and structure and shape. So the Aquarius that Saturn and Uranus will make the Aquarius feel like, or make the Libra feel like this person is unreliable. But the Aquarius is highly reliable. They're highly loyal, but they want you to feel like that they can switch up anytime. But see, the key here is the Aquarius will show you every day on a pattern as a routine that they're here for you. But they may just say, keyword communicate here, that air come in, that fixed air come in again. They may just say things in the way they talk and communicate and make themselves a part of other people, that they'll throw thoughts in your head to make you feel like, wait a minute, this person is unreliable, this person ain't really building no bond, this person ain't really in a relationship. But they show you or do something every day with their actions in a unique way to show you that they are. So they're just creating mental games to try to make the Libra realize, like, look, I'm here for you, I just may talk shit at times. You see what I'm saying? But see, that's where y'all may clash. Because the Libra is more upfront, more like they more like to be in the position for that. So after a while, that'll make the Libra cheat on the Aquarius. See, the Aquarius will cheat on the Gemini, but the Libra will cheat on the Aquarius. Because then after a while, the Libra, after a while, once they feel like things is unsustainable, they'll find themselves, keyword, relationship, start relating better to someone else. And before you know it, the Aquarius will be going in their way the same way how they've been going, thinking that just based upon their actions, that's making the other person think that they're always going to be there regardless of the shit that they talk. But then the Aquarius come home and going to realize that the Libra been cheating. See what I'm saying? So have to realize that that's where y'all will clash. But even on a friendship level, that's where y'all lead each other. Like, you know, the Libra, so long your actions will work. But after a while, Libras need communication. They need mental sex. They need mental information. So, you know, your actions as an Aquarius, showing them that you'll be there, could only work for so long. But after a while, that becomes superficial for someone who's always in their head, aka air signs, aka Libra. You know what I'm saying? So after a while, you still have to tell them you love them. You still have to tell them that, you know what I'm saying, you can't tell them every day that you ain't shit, but do things for them to show them that you do mean something in their life. Yeah, as an Aquarius, you think that's enough. But, you know, as an Aquarius, you understand you still have to talk. You still have to communicate sometimes. You see what I'm saying? Because a Libra going to want that more than Gemini. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand that. The Libra, after a while, that's not going to work anymore. A Libra will start looking at what you're doing like that's not good enough. And then they'll lead the Aquarius like, damn, what the fuck? I'm sitting, regardless of what I'm saying. And see, it's a mental game with y'all. Because now the Aquarius is so opposing with themselves and their in the way that they use their air, that they don't even want to give you the satisfaction. They don't even want to give you that gratification. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. They don't even want to give you that gratification that they think about it that way. They don't even want to let you know that they're thinking like this person. No, they don't even want to give you the satisfaction that they have to tell you that, look, you see what I'm doing for you every day. But sometimes the Libra want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck that you actually doing it. So they'll create something, create a chaotic moment. So, you know, that's where y'all would clash. But, you know, all y'all air signs play fucking mental games. So y'all need to motherfucking stop that shit. And, you know, as far as the, so, you know, back at it at the Gemini, you know, the Gemini will look at the Libra like you're too demanding, but they add ideas to each other. So, you know, y'all kind of on agreeable terms, but y'all would clash because the Gemini look at the Libra as too demanding, but the Libra look at the Gemini as too flip-floppy, and being just being too flip-floppy and being too relatable, where Libras are the masters at being relatable. So they know when you're being relatable or being flip-floppy. There's a thin line between being relatable and being flip-floppy. Then, you know, the Gemini look at the Aquarius like, you know, the Aquarius is too stubborn and too fixated on one way of seeing something, and then the Aquarius will look at the Gemini like, nah, you're not sustaining yourself and you're untrustworthy. So, you know, they all got their own clashes with each other. And then the Aquarius look at the Libra like, you're trying to control too much of the circumstance. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.